know today, man, but Meek Mill sat down. He did an interview. He actually spoke, on 6ix9ine's case. I thought it was pretty interesting what he said. So I'm going to roll this clip, real quick, and we're going to jump right into this one. Before we do it, everybody listening on YouTube, hit that like button and go ahead and share this video. Here goes Meek Mill talking about 6ix9ine's case.
You're a product of your environment, and I want to change that narrative, that shit they be using in courtroom. Even with Tekashi, he got the RICO. That's what John Gotti got. We know he ain't dangerous like no motherfucking John Gotti. He was doing some shit. Well, he allegedly was supposed to be doing some shit, and he was acting out a little bit. But the RICO, that's kind of like bullying. They trying to get that kid life. Anybody here think he deserve a life sentence? Yeah, hell no. If you ain't killed nobody, you ain't taking nobody's life. They got like a conspiracy act where like, if somebody around me is doing shit, I could go to jail. Like, yo, bro, my whole family from the hood. If you want to make it like that, I'm just conspiracy of being related to everybody I'm related to, because I'm pretty sure some people in my family might not be living straightforward, and I'm not going to stray away from them because they're not living straightforward. They're my family. They all I got. So, I want to change that narrative of what they do to people. And Tekashi instance, I feel like he was moving a little wrong. He was doing a lot. Just you're a product of your.
So Sam, man, that little clip there that Meek Mill, and this was by way of DJ Academics. He posted this on his Instagram today. Meek Mill talking about the Tekashi 6ix9ine, and pretty much pointing out some things about the system, about the RICO, and pretty much him he don't deserve it. Made a reference compares to the John Gotti there. Sam, man, your thoughts on Meek Mill, voicing his opinion?
Even though I agree with him in the fact that I don't think that Tekashi 6ix9ine deserves life, I'm going to rebuttal and argue this. What do you think about the gang aspect of it? Because he didn't mention that. Does he just mean because he's running his mouth and talking nonsense and trolling, and people, because they hate him so much and want to see him fall, and maybe even people within the law want to see him fall, that they threw this on him to make him a poster child for what you know what I mean? Is that a case, or is it something more serious than that, and gang activity was involved? And I would like to know his perspective when it comes to that.
Right.
Because he didn't mention that. I didn't hear, anything about gang involved. And I don't know if he was just saying that without saying that.
I kind of agree, and I got to be critical of Meek on this. I think it could have been better explained. Maybe he was trying to get to a different part, maybe further on in it, people can go watch the full interview. They can get a better concept of what he's saying. But it's like, the way the feds is looking at it is like, it's not just like they picking on somebody and they trying to throw a case with somebody. It's been shootings. There's been people, supposedly putting hits on people. There's been people that have been hurt, people that have been threatened. There's been, so they have a duty. So what they say is to kind of, protect the society, make society safe. So if you got guys running around doing what they want to do, and they also, I think they got drug charges on these guys. That's another thing. If you got people going around doing what they want to do outside the confines of the law, then you're gonna, have the law, clamp down on you. That's just is what it is. So, again, wait to see what's going to happen. But we have so little to really deal with here. As far as with the whole 6ix9ine, it's just all allegations right now. None of us was really there. But, what if your family was hurt? That's what people are going to say. What if somebody wanted to put a hit on your family? You would probably want somebody to lock them up, definitely. So that's just being real. Because people said that in the comments. It was like, man, y'all talking about y'all want nobody in jail. What if somebody, raped this person or somebody killed this person?
Well, obviously we want them in jail,
right,
asshole.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're not talking about that. We're talking about a simple, not a simple drug charge. But we're talking about drug charges. We're talking about somebody pushing hundreds of pounds of marijuana. Okay, maybe that's a little extreme. Fine. Okay, cool. Because you want money at the long run to begin with. But to sit in jail for the rest of your life, a little harsh. All right, that's what we're talking about in regards to that. Somebody sitting there taking a woman or hurting a child or murdering anybody deserves to sit their ass in jail for a while. Somebody putting a hit out on somebody, as much as we may think it's unfair, especially on camera, which that's so wrong. Because real gangsters like John Gotti, you would never hear on camera putting a hit out on somebody. Nah, you don't know that. That's what the real ones do. No, he's not that. But he's a dumbass that may have been showing off and thinking something was a lot more glamorous than what it was, and been potentially doing something that he was about, or showing off for a camera. Either way, it's on camera and it's incriminating you.
Yeah.
So you're going to be taught a lesson regardless. Does he deserve to sit in jail for the rest of his life at 22 years old? I personally don't think so.
I agree.
But He's going to sit in jail for a while, and that he does deserve, and that is what it is.
Yeah, because it's broke. It's the rules of society. We may not like them. They got rules already set in place that if you get caught with this, if you do this, this is federal. This is first degree, second degree, third degree, fourth degree. This is first degree. This carries 25 to boom. This carries. This is just what it is. You want to fight it? What you want to do about it? You know what I mean? You're gonna have to bow down to the law. It just is what it is.
And let's keep things very clear, because we've said this on other podcasts, but we've not said this on this one. And we know new people are going to come on and be very critical of this. So let's just be clear. We wish jail on no one, no man, no woman, no child, nobody. But let's just take this in the perspective of a learning lesson. It's a 22-year-old kid that got famous overnight, trolling, doing things that he may not have been living, all on fame, all on fortune, all on lavish, all on things that really don't matter in the general scheme of things. And now he's sitting in a position where he could potentially lose his life because he made real gang threats, gang acts, whatever you want to call it. He made big boy moves. Let's just put it for what it is. And he had real boys looking at him, and he knows the game. He knows the name of the game. He knows what they look for. He knows RICO. This ain't the first time he heard it. So he knew the game he was playing. We don't want to see him in this position. We want to see no one in this position, but he does have to learn something, right?
It gets convoluted. It gets messed up, because you have a whole side of the FBI and everything with the COINTELPRO where they targeted, on black communities and certain activists. You have that.
Absolutely.
Then you have another portion of them that actually get, bad criminals off the street. If you got, and the way things I think get messed up is when like areas where kids is getting shot. Now I'm not saying if justice needs to be served, however people, it is what it is. Somebody, they say kill your cat, shoot their dog, whatever. Whatever you believe. But it's just like when innocent kids are getting hit by innocent bystanders, drugs is being pumped onto the street like that. It's not safe for families to be. Somebody's going to have to come in. We're not going to do it ourselves in our community. Somebody's going to come in and try to regulate that and try to bring some type of, normal, if there's any, such a thing, to these areas. So I'm not saying that I'd agree with the FBI or none of that, but who else is going to do it? Who else is going to clean up these people off the street?
And the game is fixed to begin with, because we all know the reason why we got into the positions we get into anyway, and why gangs were even started and why they're in a position. So we're also not saying that the game wasn't fixed to begin with. We're not saying right. We don't want to see anybody sitting in jail for drug, anything. We know the game. We're not sitting there saying that, but we also got to understand the game that we're playing. And you don't put the kind of things that he put on tape, and you don't show off and be braggadocious in the way that you do, knowing that they're watching you anyway. So if you're going to do what you do, but do it the right way, if there is such a thing. And he did it completely wrong, and an example will be made from him.
You got guys, man, like you got guys that's showing guns, that's felons. You got guys showing all types of drugs, that's felons. Like this, like it should be, you think it will be common sense. Anybody who's a so-called criminal or went in the underworld, that's like, yo, get that camera out of here. I'm not putting this shit on the camera. Let's destroy that shit. No, that shit's coming down. Like, we're deleting it. People doing it, and it's just crazy. So what do you expect? We can sit up here if we really wanted to get grimy with it, which we not. You know what I'm saying? We could show. It's been, we seen Kodak Black and numerous other people that I've seen with my own eyes. I'm not going to put it out there, obviously, that, incriminate themselves on videos and even in their songs. It's just a whole shit list of people who do it. So y'all making it easy, what we trying to say, for the hip hop cop. Like you said, your mobsters and stuff, you want to catch them cats dead. They had to get wiretaps on phones and send actual informants in, and people actually wearing wires like this on
risking their life
right
to get some information.
Right. Shit like that. Going in the belly of the beast. Now it's just like, shit, I'm going to get his Instagram file. I'm going to go to this person's video. He up there. I'm going to go to TMZ and just pull this file and get it. And he said this. Okay, we taking this and using this in court. Simple, easy. So yeah, you smarten up, dummies. Y'all real dumb out there.
And that's all we trying to say, man. Nobody wants to be in that position, but you got to know that if you're already being watched, you got to play the game correctly. Point blank, period.